What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of Conversations with Christian. Man, it's me, Ricky OG, and we also have
O'Neal Delva in the building.
Back again, man. It's been a while since we've been together.
Yeah.
It was awkward last week.
Yeah,
okay?
we tried virtual, we tried online.
We tried it.
Yeah.
And obviously we still trying, okay? So
Yeah.
I will say, if you know a better way of doing virtual meetings online other than Zoom, because that was Zoom, nothing to Zoom, but it was horrible, right?
Yeah.
So if you know a better one, definitely let us know in the comments.
Or maybe it's just the setting. We have to play around with it a little bit more. One of the things that I love about, just online platforms, there are so many different options that are available for online meetings.
Very true.
That all you have to do is find the one that fits your need.
Very true.
And then boom, you're in there, right?
Yep.
Maybe it could have been a settings thing, like we said, But one thing though, it's kind of interesting. Sometimes when you're in online meetings, at least some of the tools that I've used, you see one thing when you're in the meeting, but when you do the recording and you download it, completely different.
Completely different. Because what we saw as we were recording was definitely different than what we uploaded.
Yeah, we saw the side by side. We had in my mind, when we were talking about bringing maybe more people in the conversation, I literally was thinking about the Brady Bunch, with all the multiple, views or whatever else.
Right.
I was like, we about to do Brady Bunch in this.
We about to boom.
Yeah.
And that thing busted.
Yeah.
It went from boom to busted.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, here we are. We gonna keep going.
Well,
but if you know something, definitely let us know in the comment section below. Because as y'all know, our goal with this here podcast is to talk about things that Christians should be talking about.
Yeah.
And give y'all the perspective, right, of Christian men. Because not always are the men speaking.
Yeah.
Because no pun to the women. We're married and our women do great things.
Yes.
The women are doing great things in this world. However, us as men, we need to do more as well.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily do more.
Yeah.
Shout out to the women.
Shout out to the women, yes.
Facts, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Shouts out to you all.
Everything that you do.
Yes, because you've come a long way. Now, we'll say that. However, I'm saying what I'm saying because men do as well have gifts. However, they are suppressing the gifts that let's talk about that today. We already gonna talk about this, but this is where we are right now. Because I'm saying it because I'm seeing a lot of men suppress their gifts with the idea that they are elevating their spouses or their wives to be able to shine bright. However, I don't think that you have to dumb down who you are in order for the other person to shine bright. Why can't we both shine bright? Like, you are in your lane, or we are in our lane, or she is in her lane, or we are in our lane, and let's do life together. I think I'm ready for that. Like, truth be told, see, now I'm putting my own self on the block. Me and Crystal about to shine bright, right? And I'm saying it to say because why am I saying this? Before, we were doing a lot of things separate. Right? I would do a thing, she would do a thing, I would applaud her, she would applaud me. But I think too much of that is taking place, which now has started to let spouses kind of do their own things or not necessarily be together in their elevation. However, you see other couples, right? Not to compare, but just to learn. You see other couples and you're like, oh man, that's nice. They're not Christians. Some of them. They're not Christians, but they working together. And it's like, man, I like that. I like that duo. Beyonce, Jay-Z. Offset, Cardi B. Maybe, I don't know, they're a couple still. I don't know.
No, I think, they're still married. They're still together.
Okay. In the recording of this video.
As of this moment.
They're still together. But I'm saying it to say, you see the boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Together they're millionaires. Together they're billionaires. However, I'm saying it to say, what's up? Why do you think couples are not together in a rise?
It's interesting that we're talking about this right now because, like Ricky said, this was not the original.
It wasn't
goal or topic that we're going to discuss.
No.
So it's amazing how God works. Actually, put something in your heart, boom,
we're
take
here
it to the people. But no. So earlier today, my wife and I, we were talking, and one of the things that I said, in my opinion, is that people don't communicate enough, right? They don't communicate when you go into a thing, let's say relationship or whatever, right? Or they don't communicate their goals enough or what they would like for it to be or to the outcome, right? Or in kind of keeping on topic a little bit, I think too at times going back to the communication and seeing, you know, what I bring to the table and what you bring to the table and how we can take that thing to make it something greater.
Wow.
Right? I want to say a couple episodes back, we had talked about, you know, like me and my skills, my background, marketing, communications, and, you know, so on and so forth, where my wife, training and, you know, communication or education, right?
And beauty.
And beauty. She does a lot, actually. She's very, she's amazing.
I would say she's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
I live for that shock factor.
Hilarious. I love it. Well, that's one of the things I would say when we were online doing the virtual. I like when we get a chance to get in person because we can, you know, bounce off of each other. Yeah. And you say something crazy, I say something crazy, just to get that, you know, that shock factor. Yeah, like, how's he going to react? But
yes, teaching and all of that.
But yeah, so before though, like, I know for me, we had talked about, you know, the marketing firm or me kind of starting a business or whatever. So originally, it was me. What can I do to advance myself, or what can I do for the family? What can I, right? But then later on, as we, you know, God spoke to me to tell me like, hey, O'Neal, your background, you do communications and education and so on. Jessica does training and education. Why don't you all come together, right? And combine your powers, the skills that I've blessed you with to do something even more, right? With all the couples that you broke down, right? When you think about, okay, kind of music industry, whatever, right. But they were doing amazing things in their lanes, but then they thought and said, hey, if we come together and combine our efforts, basically, like, we are unstoppable. Boom. Basically, right? Boom. And that's the thing, that's the mindset I would say we as Christians that we need to have as it comes to, you know, our spouses, or really any and everything that we do, or people we come in contact with, not necessarily just our spouse, right? Like, you know, you and I, you had originally started the podcast, right? And, you know, you had that going and you were very successful, doing well in, you know, in your efforts. But then God spoke to you like, hey, bring somebody else in the fold, someone who either complements what you're doing, or even, I'll say this too, maybe someone who pushes you to view things differently, right? Absolutely. We don't talk enough. We don't communicate enough, you know? Take the things that God has given you and share it with somebody else, or let's see, you know, I can have, you know, Jay-Z comes to mind now, you know. I don't know, many years ago, it was like the whole Nas and Jay-Z, whatever. He said something about, you had a hot line and I made it a hot song, I believe. I'm misquoting it completely.
It's okay. It was
but it's like someone had a hot line, right? So you had an idea. Yeah. But then he said, I made it a hot song, meaning I made it even bigger than what you had originally imagined it to be, right? Gotcha. So same thing, you might have an idea. Yep. You go to your spouse, you talk to your spouse about the things that God has given you or telling you, and you see it one way. Maybe God gave you one piece of the puzzle, and then now they come in and say, oh, here's how we can make it even better. Wow.
Yeah. No, I love that. You know? Like, even so it's funny that we're even here, man. Like, God is good. Yeah. Let me just say that. God is good in a sense where it's like, man, like how things can be full circle. But even like today I made a post about like your first 5 years of marriage are like the foundational years for your marriage. Yeah. But then I said on the back end, like, happy marriages are the new currency. But more than anything, like what I saw in making that post is just reinvigorating happy couples, successful couples, power couples. Like, let's bring that back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Happy, successful, and power couples. And I think you gave the blueprint of how that can take place. Talking together, bringing your powers together, combining what the two separately could do to one powerful, dynamic, also groundbreaking force. Like, that is how you have that power, that successful, that happy couple. Because why would that lead to those things? Because both people are adding to the equation the best of who they are, right? And so when you bring the best of who you are, you feel your appreciation from your spouse, right? She brings the best of who she is. She feels appreciated by who you are, feel elevated about what you all are doing, and excited and enthusiastic about what's to come. And then, man, there is no limit to what you all can accomplish, right? Even just thinking about, like, if it was to correlate it to scripture, right? I don't know how many scriptures you have for this conversation, but I'm always thinking of something since you got me last week. But with it all, when Jesus sent out the disciples, right? He sent them out 2 by 2s, but he equipped them by telling them what they should do, but then told them what they should not do as well. And they came back with excitement, like, Jesus, what you said we was gonna do, we can do it. Like, we was healing the sick, we were casting out demons, we was raising the dead, like we was doing what you said. And I think too is because not only did Jesus empower them, but he instructed them and he showed them some things, right? So even as couples, like, you know, maybe some things we do behind closed doors. We do some things in the dark just to get us equipped, get us empowered, get us comfortable in doing some things. So that when the lights are on and activity is necessary, we out there ready to slay some giants.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love how you brought in, you know, because as you were talking, I was thinking that, bringing in, like, because Jesus could have done it on his own, right?
Facts.
Like,
one word.
He's Jesus, right?
All demons die.
Yeah, boom.
Done.
You know, he doesn't necessarily need backup or a squad or whatever, right? He could have done it all by himself, but no, but he went out and, you know, recruited in a sense.
Facts.
And got the disciples to, not solely for him in a sense, but for them to show them, right? What you thought or what you're doing, there's more to it than that, right? I'll make you fishers of men. Where, you know, small thinking might think, oh, just, you know, fishing, like just like, you know, but no, I'll make even more so. Though the works that I've done, you will do even greater, right? Times 100%. And part of the thing too, maybe in, you know, as we're talking and I'm thinking, maybe it's good for us to take things to our spouse or for us to, because it's helping to uplift them as well, right? Where they might feel like you see me as your equal. Or you see me as important. You see me as bringing in something or bringing value to the relationship because now...
Hold on, let's stop there. Value to the relationship, comma. You said you see me as your equal. Break that down. Let's walk through equal, then we'll walk through the other part you said, but let's walk through equal.
So as far as, I mean, equal... at times, or, you know,
I like that though.
I'll say
in past relationship
or society or whatever it might be, right? It kind of where at times it feels like the man's up here and then the woman's down here, you know, or even if you're thinking about, well, I work and you stay at home and you take care of the kids. So there's always that, you know, maybe, you know, society, whatever, that feeling of that imbalance. If you think about, you know, unfortunately at work too, right? Where men get paid more than women. A female might be doing the same level of work, but they're getting paid like 33% less, or whatever the exact percentage is. But in the relationship though, you know, where it's now, you're not seeing me as only your, you know, there to take care of the kids or
subservient.
You know, I'm your helpmate in the sense that you see me, we're eye to eye in everything that we do. You know, you know, sometimes the saying like, you know, 50-50 in a relationship. And I see it as 100-100. It
has to be 100-100.
You know, it can't be 50-50. You're giving me half of your effort now, you know?
And likewise.
You know,
and
so
therefore we're only getting half.
So it's 100-100. So you see me as someone, you know, who is of the same elevation as you. You are now not, you know, dominating me or seeing me or speaking down to me, but now you come to me for advice, you know, female, male, whatever, you know, money aside, whatever aside, it's we are now focused on whatever it is because we're making the decisions together. So
and even like, so I would look at it in all that you said, and even with the idea that we equals, knowing that you have a part to bring just as much as I have a part to bring, and if we have both parts that may be of the same lane, right? Let's talk about how either we'll do it your way or we could do it my way, or we can see how to merge the two. And so it's not a dominant individual over the other. It's a mutual understanding that we both have qualities that are necessary to get us to our desired destination. And so if we don't look at each other that way, then it can feel like, oh, they're just telling me what to do, telling me what now, what next, and then you feel dilapidated and you feel like you can't do anything, therefore you don't want to. You're not going to bring anything to the table. You're not going to give any suggestions. You're not going to voice your frustration to the spouse. Somebody going to hear it. Hello,
Yeah.
but not the spouse.
Not the spouse.
And so I said I just say, like, as equals, right, in that respect, like, I love that it's even biblical, right? Even back to Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
right? God made them. He created, and he created man. He saw them as one, right? And so with that, they both had power. Now, Adam exhorted his power in a sense by naming the animals and all that before Eve came. However, once Eve came, the two had a mandate, right? The two had a responsibility. Now, even see it like when couples come together, which that's a whole nother conversation, but when couples come together, they should look at themselves to figure out what is the mandate, the purpose, the assignment, the destiny, their lane that they should forge together, right? But I love that equal. There was another one you said. As couples should be equals.
Equal.
It was good, but you was rolling.
Yeah, I was rolling.
That was fair. Anyway, can you jump back into where you were? Though?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll continue. A couple things come to mind. First thing, I'll go ahead and speak to the fellas. Fellas, allow your wives to have a voice, right? Allow them to add on or speak to, bring ideas to them that God is sharing with you.
Yeah.
Allow them to insert their voice as part of the things that God is showing you, right? Where to let them feel once again that you see them as someone who's valuable, who brings a great value to the relationship, and has where they feel like you're with me not for the sole purpose of being the wife, the mother, the whatever, but like you see me as again, partner helping to guide or be there for you. Well, something else that's it's amazing how I like how things when they connect.
Yes.
At work last week we had a leadership meeting and so on, and one of the things that they had talked about was how we as people, we can be over producers, right? Where meaning if like for me, for example, let's say you come to me for assistance, or I need for you to do something. I might know how to do that thing, but what do I take it to you and like allow you to learn and do it yourself? Or am I someone to just say, you know what, I'll take care of it myself, right? Sometimes I'll say for me, like, I'm like, taking it back to the relationship, right? Let's say Jessica needs help with something, or let's say, the kids need help with something. Like, I sometimes will just say, I'll take care of it myself, versus like allowing them to learn or allowing them to do the thing. But part of the training or, that the leadership meeting that we had, it talked about the fact that the person who's like the overachiever or the overperformer who basically is doing everything, they sometimes have resentment towards the other person because they feel like you're not pulling your weight. Yep. You're not doing it's not balanced, right? I'm doing everything. What are you doing? What? I'm over here sweating and working crazy.
Correct.
What are you bringing? What are you doing exactly?
Yeah.
But in reality, it's not because they're
not
maybe they're not. Let's say on the positive side, maybe it's not because they're not willing or they don't want to, but it's because you're not taking that thing to them to give them to empower them to be able to provide that assistance, right? So you have to empower them to be able to provide the assistance. One of the ways you could do that is, again, like I said earlier, communicate. Say I got this idea that God has shown me. What do you think of this? Oh, baby, love, that's amazing. I could potentially come in and we could do this, and so on and so forth. And not to see the vision that God has given them as well as something minute, something small, like that little. Oh, but you think that little thing gonna do something, gonna elevate us to where God, wants us to be? No, maybe that little thing, that idea that they had, is the thing that'll elevate you to where God would want you to be.
Facts, and you shouldn't look at it as a little thing.
It shouldn't look at it as a little thing. It should be a thing that's added to the pot, and even to the how, right? Because oftentimes it's like, okay, I want to do it, but how do I go about doing it? I know for me and Crystal, or Crystal and I, to be grammatically correct. Grammarly correct. How you say it? Can't even do that part. But to be correct. Grammatically correct.
Grammatically.
That's the word you're looking for,
See,
sir.
thank you for that little insight.
That's what I'm here for. To correct your English.
Let's work on that. Hey. That was about to be funny. But with it all, we write down goals, right? Let's say Crystal and I want to do a thing. Hey, we want to start a YouTube channel and want this bad boy to grow. Okay, what goals do you have? Crystal, you write yours down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write mine down, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Or let's even say let's write the goals down, then you pray about it, and then we set a date that we're gonna come back. We've done that numerous of times, and it's always beautiful when we come back, because initially it's a little hesitancy in like sharing, right? Which is always weird. But in it all, with it all, there's that little hesitancy that you have to work through. Yeah. And then once you get through that, it's like, oh man, like it's cool to see how you have some thoughts, I have some thoughts, and then we put our thoughts together. Oh man, like what dynamic power do we actually have? And so what am I saying under to say? Like 2023, right? 2023 is coming up.
Bro, it's right around the corner. It's right closer than you think.
Closer than we think. Now, this is the time in which we're recording this video. Maybe not the time in which you come in contact with this video, but the information is still true. Oh, and it's still good. And what I do want for 2023 is for couples to come together, unite in thought, and then go out in the world and make a difference. Like, let's show the world what relationships look like. And I'm passionate about that as well, because I see how distorted, with a lot of that distorted relationships have been marketed in the media. And it's like, man, like, what, we can't just sit on our hands and do nothing and say nothing. Like, not only should we be an example, but we should show what that example should do, right? Not only just getting married. Is it enough? Cool. Yeah, man. Like, that's your dream, get married. But what is your marriage doing? What contribution is your marriage making to the kingdom? What difference are you making in your world, your community, your family, and your region? Like, what difference are you making? And I say that to say, not to put pressure, undue pressure on people, because I believe each and every person is brought together for a specific reason. But I'm saying that to say, pray about it. Ask God about it. Ask wisdom for it, and then start acting on it as God directs your paths and orders your steps. Because there is differences that needs to be made. So that's where I'm at. And I wasn't even on this until this conversation. But I think you ignited something that was there unknowingly. But more than anything, like, we need to bring back power couples.
Oh, bro, 100. Was it? Well, one will bring 1,000 to flight. Two will bring 10. Right. So
bring 10.
If you think about it, right, you by yourself.
Dropping scripture. Go ahead. You by yourself.
You by yourself, right? You can only do so much.
Yeah. Little damage.
A little damage. But when two people come together, like-minded people come together. Man, the amazing things that you can accomplish, right? Because if you think about it sometimes, like, when I like to think about, technology or, whatever it is that we see, like, wow, God gave someone a vision, right? Gave someone a vision, an idea, right? But then a lot of times they didn't do it on their own.
They did.
The Microsofts, the, Apple, the, Teslas, all them other billionaires. They didn't do it on their own.
They didn't. Even though you may see a face, they're not the only ones doing the work. Yeah,
because God, I'll say, He puts people in our lives for a reason, right? For, everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason. Everything has, so someone is in your life for a reason, right? To help sharpen you, to help build you, to help make you stronger, to help make you better, right? To help equip you to handle multiple situations, right? Your spouse, your friends, your whomever it is that's in your life, they're there to help strengthen you, right? And if we keep it, the focus on couples, like Ricky said, 2023, man, imagine how amazing it would be to see just couples, husbands and wives, just boom, elevating from one stage to the next, levels to levels, boom, 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 right?
That's what we're gonna.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Bro, that's what we're gonna.
We got some big goals for 2023 too,
and so here's the thing about that, right? So let me ask you this, because it's thrown out there quite often. The thought is you should keep your future to yourself and not be open and share with others. Like, where are you at with that?
Well, I mean, I think when it comes to your spouse or whatever, I mean, when you think of like on a business and, it's like, oh, got to sign this non-disclosure, I mean, would you make your wife sign a non-disclosure? I don't know.
Not necessarily, unless she signed a prenup too.
I guess.
Let's keep the papers going.
But no, I would say, of course, it's important for you to pray about things before you do a thing, right? Go to God first and foremost to make the decision, okay, should I reveal whatever this idea is to the person, that God has shown me to, speak it to, whatever. If we're keeping the focus solely on spouse, whatever, no, you need to tell the future.
Well, I'm talking about people, right?
People
you were talking about, you have some big things.
Yeah.
Obviously, we working on some things. So would you say you should keep those things contained?
I would say share. If it's your close friends or people who, is in your life, share with them, you know? I think part of the thing is a lot of times people are afraid to share ideas with others with the fear that it's going to get stolen, right? Like if I'm going to have a child, like I'm not going to tell you my baby's name because you might take my baby's name.
Okay.
But you're pregnant right now. I'm not, my wife is not pregnant. You're, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to steal your name. That's the name that you chose. Or maybe I like it, but who says I can't have two people named the same? Or whatever. But anyway, that's all another thing.
Every day.
Yeah, I'm going down a different tangent.
So
but no, I say share.
Okay, so you say share. I don't know, right? I'm in between. Like I get the concept. I'm a sharer. Like I do like sharing. But I like to share in a way that's kind of like speaking things into existence.
I say share for two reasons.
All right, talk to us.
Reason number one is so that they can celebrate with you through the process, right? Through the where you might, and then reason number two for accountability, right? Because to me, I feel like it's very easy. It's easy for you to come up with an idea, right? It's easy the onset, like the beginning.
Yes.
You say something.
Absolutely. You get excited.
You get excited, bro. Like, oh man, like I can say it right now,
best thing.
Bro. I'm about to be a billionaire.
Correct.
I'm about
to be a idea.
Oh man, you get super hyped.
Yeah.
And then you think about the end result. So it's like the beginning and the end, what it will look like. But the middle is very long, right?
Yes.
So I say to share for two reasons. One, so that they can celebrate with you as you achieve the small little bits.
Yes.
To where now that person can say, man, bro, look where we are now. Like, look where we came from. The idea that you had.
Right.
And look at how it's grown to be, look at it, you know? The second thing is accountability. Like, hey, where are you with that? Like, or like, I know the next phase is hard, but hey, you can get through it. Or another one too, 3 reasons I guess you could say to share, in my opinion, is for resources. Maybe I know someone you don't know that can help you get past whatever stage you're at right now. Like where that wall that you keep hitting, someone at some point in the past has gone through the same challenges to hit that wall and they figured how to break through. You don't know. But if you don't say anything to anyone about the things that you're doing, then you won't know, right?
No, that's good. No, I'm definitely want to share. I think what you did do is put a circle around who you share with, right? You said, those that you're close with, friends and things like that, and not necessarily the world.
Not the world. Not yet. The world would be, once it's, you're close to finishing, if not done.
Gotcha.
Right? But for everyone else, you
can let them in.
You can, the closer you let them in.
Accountability and proximity and the potential.
But the world, you let them maybe know after it's like done or close to being done.
Yeah. When it's announcement time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That big reveal.
All right. So that means we both have some big reveals coming.
Okay, I'm excited.
That's what that is. We both have reveals coming because you got some things coming.
Oh yeah, 2023. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You and your spouse gonna do some things. My spouse and I'll do some things, and we have some things to share one day soon.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited. I'm excited. Drop power couples in the comments section.
Power couples.
I wish you was in it. I think this was live. Like, this was fun.
Yeah.
This is fun because this wasn't even what we're gonna talk about.
Not at all.
What we're gonna talk about Thursday.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
But for this one, like, more than anything, I believe, obviously, even in how we were even talking, I believe that even God wants for power couples to shine bright, to be in the forefront, to do things together, and to represent the kingdom well.
Yeah.
And so I believe that's why we even made that shift in the conversation to talk about this. And even with the idea of a new year coming, right? Oftentimes people use the end of the year to reflect and prepare for the year to come. But then as well, whenever you do come in contact with it, I believe that it will be right for you in the time in which you watch this.
Yeah.
Right? Because the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. However, the right thing at the right time is the right thing.
The right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
The right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong
thing.
It makes sense. I had to, In my mind, I had to process it a couple times.
Yeah. No, I didn't make that up. That was Pastor Paul.
I had to process it though.
That lets me know you missed some messages. But it all.
Something though I want to say that you said, you know, I think as you're thinking about whatever point, you know, whether it be at the start of the new year, or mid-year, start of next month, whatever, I would say as you're writing down the goals and things that you want to achieve, write down the goals and things that you want to achieve as a couple, right?
Nice.
The things we can do together.
Yeah.
Right? Don't just think about, you know, or when you're doing, you know, vision board or whatever, right? You're writing down, you know, things that you want or what you want to achieve, but, you know, what can we do as a couple to, whether it be the ideas that you've already written for you individually and how your spouse can, you know, add to that, or maybe it's a whole separate situation where it's just us, you know, me, us, you, whatever, you know, because it's okay to do some things, you know, solo. You don't have to do everything with your partner.
Yeah,
that could be a whole nother conversation.
It is a whole nother conversation.
But as far as this though, write down the things that you want to achieve together.
I like it.
And let us know, because I love people's stories, and I love to celebrate with people, right?
I do too. I'm definitely about.
Could be something minor, could be something major. Maybe y'all pay off some debt together, right?
Facts.
Right?
Because
my thing is, if we're married, my debt is your debt, your debt is my debt.
That's true.
You know? Even if you had it before we came. So so it's like, all right, we're going to pay this off together. Boom, we just paid $10,000 off. Let's share together, you know? And let me know so I can share with you too.
Boom shakalaka, put that in the comment section. So, in it all, with it all, we are praying and hopeful, as well as looking forward to the empowerment of couples, power couples. And I guess that's the only one that comes to mind. So power couples.
Yes.
Let's shine bright in the new year, and whatever day in which you come in contact with this video and or podcast, right? If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, be sure to follow, subscribe, or whatever it is that you can do. Even if you're on YouTube, do the same things as well. Knowing that we love you, we appreciate you, and we'll definitely be praying for you all. So until next time, peace.